Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. The topic is the best diet for fat loss, and this is quite a contested topic, always a hot topic, and the answer seems to always be changing, which is interesting because you'd think if it's the best is the best, but not so fast. There is so much information out there about what the best diet for losing fat is, and all of the information is conflicting. So how do we even make sense of that? Like, there's low fat, high carb, just as it sounds. There's the opposite, high fat, low carb. There's even keto, paleo, Atkins, Weight Watchers. There's endless varieties of diets. You can name like a million of them, and they all claim to be the best. And how can they all claim to be the best when they're all different? It runs the gamut of approaches and they all claim to be the best. How is that possible? The truth is they can all be effective if you are in a sustained caloric deficit over a period of time. And let's break that down into two parts, the caloric deficit and the sustainability. To achieve that caloric deficit, you have to be consuming fewer calories than you are expending. You consume calories obviously through eating and drinking, things that contain calories. First of all, you burn calories just by staying alive. Even if you're just laying on the couch watching Christmas movies with your cat.
I plan out our whole day. First we'll make snow angels for 2 hours, and then we'll go ice skating, and then we'll eat a whole roll of Toll House cookie dough as fast as we can, and then, to finish, we'll snuggle.
You are burning calories for digestion, brain function, respiration, cellular repair, all sorts of bodily processes that are constantly occurring without you even thinking about them. And then of course you burn calories through exercise, whether it be lifting weights, doing cardio, doing circuits, plyos, whatever it might be, you will burn calories doing those activities too. On top of that, you also burn calories doing random things like chores, walking to or from school or work, participating in active hobbies, whatever it may be. Those all really add up and contribute to your energy expenditure. Now, all of those modes of energy expenditure, those have to add up to exceed your calorie intake if you're looking to lose fat. That's pretty much as simple as it is. Your calorie intake needs to be lower than your calorie expenditure. That is the most basic rule of thermodynamics, and no matter what people say, calories do matter. Of course, food quality matters as well, but calories are king when it comes to fat loss. You can just ask the guy that lost dozens of pounds only eating Twinkies. It's real, it's true, that really happened. So the caloric deficit is part one of the fat loss equation. Part two is the sustainability factor. When it comes to your diet, sustainability just means that you can see yourself eating that way for a long period of time and perhaps the rest of your life. A diet protocol is sustainable if it gives you enough energy, it makes you feel satisfied, and allows you to still be social and enjoy your life. If way of eating is too restrictive, you just can't stick to it over the long term. And if you can't stay the course, you obviously won't get to your final destination. So that's why sustainability is so important. Because we're all so unique and different, what works for one person and what's sustainable for one person might be totally different than what works for you. For example, you probably have a friend that swears by eating low carb, but when you think about cutting out bread, you kind of want to rip your eyelashes out. In fact, a study in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that popular diets can be effective at reducing weight in a modest way and improving various cardiac risk factors, but they found that over the long term, many popular diets were way too hard to stick to and adherence rates were low. Now keep in mind, in this study, they assigned specific diets to each of their participants, and at the end, the researchers suggested that perhaps adherence rates would have been higher if people were allowed to choose their own nutrition protocols, which I think is really important and really telling of what we should be doing when it comes to our approach to fat loss. That being said, some of these diets feel so restrictive that even though you have the best intentions to eat healthy and stick to the plan, sometimes your willpower just crumbles and you can't do it anymore. So what's the key here? It is finding your happy medium and figuring out what is going to work best for you, what's going to be sustainable over the long term, while still putting you in that oh so important caloric deficit that you need in order to lose fat. It's also super important to resist the urge to crash diet or go to extremes, because that again is not sustainable and is not going to yield you results over the long term. So moral of the story is the best diet for fat loss is actually the one that you enjoy and the one that you can stick to over a long period of time. It's not as complicated as the media makes it seem. It really is quite simple. Create a caloric deficit, do it for a long time without going crazy. That's pretty much what it boils down to. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I have been wanting to come out with something like this for quite some time, and I think that it is a really important thing that needs to be talked about. There are so many fad diets, crazy diets out there. Just take one quick search on Pinterest and check out the hard-boiled egg diet, for example. All of these things claim to bring you rapid, extreme weight loss results, but in reality, all of them are a terrible idea. This is a real way to lose fat, create a caloric deficit, sustain it for a long period of time. As long as you have those two things nailed down, you will lose fat. If you're curious as to some more in-depth information and protocols and the science and application behind fat loss, of course there are way more factors that go into finding the right diet for you and creating that caloric deficit for a long period of time, such as your training, your recovery, your nutrition, all of that stuff. I am teaching it to you guys in my new course, which is called Fundamentals of Fat Loss. That is launching today, and I'm so excited. This has been such a labor of love for me. I have put in countless hours into this course, creating the content, creating the presentations, finding all the research studies to back up the lessons, getting reviewers on board to check it out. I have multiple master's degree holders reviewing it, a registered dietitian who reviewed it, and it is approved by all of them. So I'm so excited to be sharing credible, scientifically backed information with you guys in a way that is accessible to many people, trustworthy, and just a fun way to learn. So I cannot wait to see what you guys think. Aside from that, I'm also hosting a workshop tonight. If you're watching this Monday morning, I'm hosting a workshop tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're gonna go over 3 myths about fat loss and the reasons why your plans fail, which obviously are very important, relevant topics. So we're gonna go over those, also have a Q&A section, and talk a little bit more about FFL. So definitely sign up for the webinar if you are interested in that stuff. Even if you're not available tonight at 6, you can also still sign up, and I'll be sending a replay to everyone that registers. So click that button, first one in the description box, and I hope to see you guys there. If you enjoyed this video and the editing and everything, please be sure to give it a like and hit the subscribe button for more coming soon. Big thanks to my new video editing partner, Troy Beckman, who is super talented, and I'm excited to have him on my team helping me with these YouTube videos and making sure I can bring you guys quality content on a more consistent basis. Definitely check him out. I will also link him in the description box below. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you at the workshop. Mwah.